We have laid out the tentative locations of the air terminals and mechanical equipment for the supply and return systems in the HVAC design and established the logical connections for the duct systems. The next step is to connect them physically. In this video, we'll explore how to route the ducts automatically for mechanical systems using the generate layout tool in Revit. So start by opening the file you used in the previous video or automatic routing in the chapter 3 exercise files folder. So at this point, launch Revit, navigate to the exercise files from the chapter 3 folder, open this file automatic routing, which I currently have open. Then open the ground floor HVAC plan, which I have here. Next, select one of the supply diffusers in the living dining zone and click generate placeholder from the layout panel. These two will generate duct placeholders, which are single line representation, preferable at the early modeling stages. But if you want to create the actual ducts, then you can go for generate layouts. So we'll start with the placeholders, and this will take us into the generate layouts edit mode. Next, click the settings button to launch the duct conversion settings dialog, and this is a part of the mechanical settings which we explored earlier. So from here, set the main duct, the duct type to rectangular mitred elbow with taps, then the offset to 35. And this is the middle elevation of the duct that comes out of the mechanical equipment for the zone. Next, for the branch, choose a similar duct type and offset as main. So we'll set this to the same and the same offset. And then the flex duct, we'll set it to flex duct round. And then we'll set the maximum flex duct length to 900 or as the project might require. So close this. So from these options menu here, you find multiple solution types across network, perimeter, and its sections. For this zone, we will simply go with network 6 of 6. Now the first tip when you're using this tool is to open the default 3D view to have a better understanding of what you're creating. So now we'll click on the 3D view, open it, and then we'll type WT to tie the two views. You can also go to view ribbon and then click tie views. So from here we can see what we are creating in 3D as well. So when you zoom in closely, you see what this looks like. Now from here you can see that this is not exactly what we want. So to modify this layout, you can go to generate layout ribbon here and edit layout using this tool. Then from here, we want to adjust this to match with the lines that we've drawn here. So you can adjust all these lines, and for this one as well. And finally for this one. So looking at 3D, this looks much better. So when you're satisfied with the layout, you click on finish layout. So next we'll generate the layout for the return air system of the same zone. So we'll select one of the return diffusers here. This time we'll click generate layout to go straight for the ducts. So click on this, and from this edit mode, we'll click on settings once again. Then we'll also match the settings with what we created, what we configured for the supply air system. So for main, we'll set this to rectangular duct mitred elbow tabs and middle elevation of 35. The same for branch. And then for flex duct, the same. I'll set this to 900 and close this. So from the solution types on the options bar here, we'll choose one of 6 for this zone, and that as well is not perfect. So we'll also use the edit layout to modify that. There's more modifications on this one, so We'll start with this. So of course you can see what that looks like in 3D. This look much better, even though we can adjust this one as well. So when you're satisfied with this outcome as well, you click on finish. But before we click on finish, I want to talk about the second pro tip. So you must have noticed that we'll have some detail lines here as guide. So you can always use detail lines to sketch out a tentative layout to guide your duct routing. And this applies to both automatic or manual duct routing. And as well, from this edit mode here, you can remove components and equipment from the system by using this remove from system button here. So when you're satisfied with what you have, click on finish layout. And even after that, you can always adjust the results. So now you can see that we generated the actual ducts and not just placeholders. So if you started with placeholder, you can always convert to actual ducts. So to do that, use the tab key to select all the placeholders I have here. I can also use filter to make sure that I have only placeholder duct selected. And when I select only that, I can convert placeholder with this. So you might have realized that there are a lot of shortcomings with this automatic routing in Revit. One of the first shortcoming is that the result is not always perfect. You almost have to adjust the outcome. So as an experienced modeler, you might be better off manually running the ducts, connecting the various components that make up the system. But it's always a good idea to explore the solution types that the tool provides. Now, another limitation is that the conversion settings that we opened earlier only allow you to specify the duct types and the offsets. So that means Revit automatically sizes the ducts for you using what is available in the mechanical settings and based on what it believes is best. So it doesn't give you the room to size it. But as an experienced engineer, you might be better off, it might be more convenient for you to size the ducts as you manually connect the system components. So we'll still look at duct sizing in the next chapter. Our focus there is modeling. So to quickly demonstrate how that can actually work, I will manually connect this guest zone. So to start, I'll click on the zone equipment, which is the fan core unit. And now you can see this connector here. I can start creating my connector out of there. Now the first thing I want to do, just like we did for our conversion settings, is to make sure that I pick the right duct from here. So I make sure that this is my third elbow tabs. And now you can see the duct size coming out of the equipment 800 by 300. So I can come out a bit, and then as a modeler I can now choose the size that I want. So if I come out, I can come here, for example, I can switch this to, let's say, 250 by 250. So that automatically reduces the duct size. Then I can come here and I can stop somewhere around this line. Then I can reduce this to, say, 150 by 150, knowing that my head terminal neck size is 150. So I can stop, and then I complete the final connection. So this one as well, I need to size it as well. So I set this to 150, and then I can connect into this component. So now that has completed this, I need to connect to these ones as well. So I can also activate the duct tool again, or I can right click and create similar. This time I can continue with, let's say, 200 by 200 as the first branch. So I'll make sure I touch this, and Revit automatically creates the connection point based on what I configured in that particular duct type, which is the branch. So I can stop this somewhere around here. Then I can branch off again at a lower size. I can now connect the final one with 150, 150, like I did for that one. Then, of course, I have to complete the final one with a flexible duct. So I make sure I touch this, and then I come out a bit, and now you can see the branch, which is a shoe. Then I use flexible duct to complete that. Now quickly do the same for the return. So I come here, you can see the connector symbol here, which is return. Again, you want to confirm that you have the right duct type for the first one. So I come out and then I can reduce this to 50 like I did before. Then I can use this to run around this way. And then at this point I can reduce to 150 to make my final connection. And then I can complete it with a flexible duct. Now, because the last flexible duct I created was supply, I need to select this and make sure that I choose the right system or system classification. So you can see this is supply air. I need to change this to return air. Of course, you can notice the colors update automatically as I'm creating this. So now if you look at this, you can see that I have more flexibility doing this compared to the automatic routing that I did here. And this is not necessarily slower. It can even be faster than this method. So now, one interesting thing you notice is that if you select this fan coil unit and you check the airflow, you can see now that it reports the appropriate value, which is the sum of the child components. So now air actually flows across all this equipment, and that's what it means. So, and that's it. You can now generate automatic dot layouts in Revit. The workflow is the same for automatic pipe layouts. So in the following videos, we will explore the manual routing approach. But before then, I want you to route the dock systems in all the zones for this facility.